So this is what, part three? This is our third segment. So this is what, part three? This is our third. Yeah, okay. So there we go. So we're live streaming, coming back to it. What do I want to do? Oh, I want to share my screen with you guys. So moving forward, let's talk about this. Okay, so you guys know how this goes. You know, you gotta let me know. Uh-oh, that's the wrong screen. I don't want to show that screen. Wait, let me stop. Okay, I just need a verbal confirmation that you can see my screen.
Yes.
You can see, okay.
Yes.
All right, and you see the new presentation now?
Yes.
Okay, so just to recap what's going on, there are one, two, three, four, there are six phases, right, that you're moving through as a UX designer. And these six phases, these are the technical terms that you're going to hear all the time in your space of what we're doing, what we're walking through in class. And it's also what's going to come up when you take your certification exam. So phase one is gathering data and analyzing user data. Now, what I want to clarify, I was thinking about this on break. The data that we're doing, we're kind of mixing it, right? So I just kind of wanted you guys to get the experience of what it's like to have a brand new project, a project that doesn't exist, to do the research, to kind of identify whether or not there's a need for it, if it's going to make the company money, all of that stuff we talked about. A lot of times you guys are not a part of, there's two different sets of research. So there's research that happens on the business end to even decide whether or not the company is going to take on the project at all. So that's on the business side of research. But then there's also the research that you do as a UX designer, which is kind of like what we were doing before we went on break, which is who is the user, what's their behavior, all of that stuff. So I wanted to make sure I really divide a clear line between the research and analysis that the business side does and the research and analysis that the UX designer and the UX team does. In some scenarios, sometimes like companies don't follow rules exactly the way they're written. Sometimes a business team may ask you as the UX team to do the research, but typically because of the cost that's involved, you won't even see the project until the business research has been done to prove that it's going to be profitable for the company to move in that direction. So I just wanted to make that clear. So as we're looking at these icons that pertain specifically to you as a UX designer, we have gathering and analyzing user data. So here's the thing. Gathering and analyzing user data usually is performed on sites that already exist. As a UX designer, a lot of times it's not a new project. In this scenario, because we're learning, I'm taking you guys from the beginning and it's a new project that doesn't exist. This does not exist. A lot of times when you get hired onto a company, the website, the application, the mobile app, it does exist. So the data that you're gathering is different than the data we're gathering for this project. The data you're gathering for a project that already exists, you're gathering data such as pain points. You're gathering data that says how many users are actually presently using the site. So say, for example, if you were hired to stay with our scenario, Let's say you're hired by Apple to look at the current Apple site, because Apple already has a site where you can go and order everything. If you were hired to redesign a section of the site that already exists, the data that you're gathering is how many users are using this site. So let's just say 1 million users a day visit Apple. That's the data you're gathering. Let's say the task is they want to really promote their new products and they have a button on the homepage that says new from Apple. So the data for you will be how many, so if 1 million users visit the existing Apple site, how many users click on the button that says new Apple products? And you may find out 50,000 visitors click on the button that says new Apple products. That's the data you're gathering. What's the age of the million people who visited that site? So when you're brought into a project for a product, so we call our websites and our web applications products. When you're brought into a situation for a product that already exists, the data that you're gathering is the data from the site that already exists and how those users are interacting. What are the pain points? Pain points being, you guys expressed the pain point in the first segment where you said you were trying to enter a promo code and you cannot figure out, I think that was Tori said that, Tori and Janella couldn't figure out where to enter promo codes. Those will be considered pain points for the end user, right? So that's the type of data that you're gathering. You're looking at users go through the site. Sometimes you're looking at users and they don't know that you're watching them and you're tracking how they interact with the site, and that's the data you're gathering. So gathering and analyzing user data is different for a product that exists versus one that doesn't exist. Just want to make that clear. Developing personas, you're going to hear that word a lot. It's going to be on your quiz. It's going to be on your certification exam. The question is going to be posed to you in interviews. What's your experience in developing personas? The questions that we were going over before we went on break, which were what's the age, male, female. We found out our persona content creators who are 30 to 40 years old, who are 43% male, all of that stuff. We typically do video creation more than, who use their phones more than they use traditional camcorder or, video camera, who are typically recorded from a home studio. All of those details are the persona. The ideation techniques to assist in coming up with creative solutions. Ideation techniques, we're going to talk about that a little bit today and then deep dive into it next week. But ideation techniques is after we gather all the data and we have a clear understanding of who we're designing for, now we start to come up with ideas. So now we're coming up with ideas in terms of how we want the space to look, which is why I kind of pulled back because we were kind of jumping ahead and getting to that already. When you guys were telling me like you wanted to have a virtual meeting room and how you wanted the buttons to look, and Angela said she wanted it to look like she envisioned a metaverse. All of that stuff is the ideation phase. So that's why I kind of pulled back because I knew that was coming up, but we had skipped a set. We skipped ahead a few steps. The ideation is where we kind of talk creatively about how we want to address the personas and the type of environment we want to create based on the product. So before break, we talked about what the objective was and what the purpose of the application was. What are the community members coming there to achieve? Once we talk through all of that stuff, which is a longer conversation than 10 minutes that we did for simulation, but you get the gist of it. Once you talk through that, now you're in a position where you can move into ideation. And that's where you start sketching as one ideation technique, which literally means you have a sketch pad and some pencil and paper and you're sketching. Another ideation technique is sometimes people whiteboard, which is what we're going to do. We're going to whiteboard different ideas and talk about them with each other, with the team. Sometimes you may go straight to Figma and start coming Figma or either an Adobe product, and that may be your ideation technique. So those are all different types of ideation techniques. Once you move past the ideation technique, then we start going through scenarios and storyboarding to fill in design gaps. So that's when we get to literally use our imagination to make up scenarios of how we think a person is going to go through the site. So that's when we start going through the scenarios like, well, we want them to come to the site and share ideas with each other, but what if they come to the site and they decide that they want to form a party? How would they do that? Or what if they come to the site and they want to network and they go into the networking room, but then they decide they don't want to network anymore. They want to look at the new and upcoming products. How would they jump out of that experience seamlessly? It's just you just start making up scenarios and storyboarding just to make sure you didn't overlook anything. That's like kind of I call it like the what if world. Like what if they choose to do this or what if they choose to do that? Just trying to make sure you covered all your bases in your design. Then once you go through that process as a UX designer, you move into early validation using prototypes. So we talked about wireframing, and wireframing is kind of like we call it validation. So as a team, we come up with all these ideas, but we have to actually validate that our ideas are going to perform the way we think they're going to perform. So that's when we start to create the low fidelity prototypes. Just, like I guess you can say like practice versions or replica versions, test versions of our application. And then we'll have different people use it and we kind of look and we watch them go through the site, click through the buttons and see if they're doing what we think they're doing and to see if it's as intuitive as we think it is. Because a lot of times as a designer, you have an idea and you think that, well, if I put this button in the upper left, of course everybody's going to know it's there, right? And that's your assumption. But then when you put the application in front of people, no one looks to the upper left and everyone gets confused. So that's the process of validating your assumptions or validating your prototypes. And then the final thing is, talking about how the process assists in better planning the development cycle. This process going through, gathering data, developing personas, ideation, storyboarding, and then validating your prototypes, running through that loop over and over again, because you may run through that cycle 4 or 5 times before you get it right in this testing wheel with your test, the people who you're using to test your ideas on. That helps a lot because now when you pass it off to the developer, it eliminates the amount of time that the developer has to go back in and adjust things. And I should say it reduces. It reduces the amount of times that the developers have to go back in and re-hold things because certain things weren't taken into consideration. So in saying that, moving forward, empathy and user-centered design. So you'll hear the word empathy a lot. And the process of adding emotional impact to your products in a systematic way, the thoughts, the feelings, the emotion, transferring the wants and needs of the users into technological solutions for end users. So at an interview, someone may ask you, how would you define empathetic user-centered design? What would you say, Angela? You don't have to turn your camera on. You can just be audio.
I would say that empathetic user design. I feel like without me looking up an answer, you mean?
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like it should be just trying to put yourself in their situation. Like with Tori and Janella, like whoever designed that to put the code in there, they didn't think about, oh, what if they can't find it? I feel like they didn't do their due diligence to work all the way through to the end. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like a part of being empathetic is actually walking in the shoes of your consumers because you want to make it into not a, what did you call it? A pain. What did you
Pain
call
point.
it? A pain point. Yeah, you don't want it to be a pain point at any point because then, like you said, even though that was just Tori, she's just one person, but it could be on the scales of millions of people.
Right. Yep. Yep, exactly. That question is a common question in UX design interviews. And I feel like if I was interviewing you and you answered the question that way, I would feel confident in your answer. So that's a good answer.
Cool. Thank you.
Yeah. And so, I think following the data trail, right? So user data is used to identify pain points and identify personas. So if someone were to like be a fly on the wall, so to speak. So at one company I worked at, they used to have a room where they would just like pull in people, random people who would agree to do testing. And the people would go into this one room and work through the app, but then the developers were in another room and we could see your mouse movement. We could see what you were doing, but you didn't know that we were watching you. So we were watching you to see how the experience was for you. That was our process of gathering data. Now you don't have to physically be there. Like we can do things like Hotjar or record the screen and have different things in place so that we can see and just go back and assess it. But that's just what we did back then. And back to the scenario of Janella and Tori not being able to find out where to enter that promo code. As a developer on the back end watching you go through the process, I would have seen you go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth and exit the site. So that would have been me gathering data and I would have been able to identify that pain point. I would have had a conversation with you and said, hey, I noticed that you kept going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and you left. What happened? And then you would express to me what you expressed during here. I would identify that as a pain point. And then as a UX designer, I would redesign that checkout process to address that. Pain points and personas are used during the ideation phase, which is what we're kind of doing right now. Right now, we're moving into the ideation phase. It's coming up very soon in the next few minutes to come up with possible solutions. And then storyboarding takes the possible brainstorms of solutions and narrows them down to a working set, which is what I said. To make it simple, it's a bunch of what ifs, like what if they do this? Or what if they click here? What if they go over here? What if they end up on this page? That's storyboarding. And we're kind of playing make believe, honestly, and seeing if we can journey our way through the app as expected. And then, like I said, the next step is prototyping. So, and having said that, jumping back to where we are, just keeping our eyes on the bigger picture, right? So, gathering and analyzing user data, that's where we are, because in this unique situation, we are, well, like I said, the way we're gathering and analyzing data is not user data. It is for us, we're kind of right here on this second phase. We kind of just jump to developing a persona because there is no pre-existing app. So for us, the Appleheads community doesn't exist. So we really don't have that app data to gather. So the data that we're gathering is actually the persona data. And this data, we just kind of pretended that we got this data handed down from business in terms of what the objective is, what they want to accomplish, who they're targeting, right? So really, we kind of started here. This is where we started. And when you come into a company and they are, if you are, like I said, if you come into a company and you're working on an existing app, you're starting right here, the orange circle, gathering and analyzing user data, existing user data, I feel like makes it more clear. But if it's a brand new application that doesn't exist, you don't have any existing data to gather. So your research and analysis is just more so on who you're trying to target. Does that make sense? Because I want to make sure that's really clear. You guys understand? Are you following me, or is that muddy?
No, I get it.
I get it.
Okay. So in developing a persona, let's go back and talk about this part a little bit more, and then let's move over into ideation. So I'm gonna stop my screen share for a little bit. I'm gonna share a different document, the one that I was sharing before. Okay, you guys can see my Word document again.
Yes.
Okay, so when we're talking about, so this research and analysis, right, which is really us doing the research based on who we're targeting. So we identified the age, the sex, the interest. So let's just go through this. What's the age? The age that we're targeting is what, Tori?
Isn't it 20 to 40? Was it 20 to 40?
Look at your references. Let's go back to that link that was posted. I think Janella posted that. I don't know why. That is really. The chat in Zoom is like, I don't even know. Like me trying to find the chat is so frustrating. Okay, let me go back. Janella posted this. So the age. 30 to 40.
Oh, 30 to 40. Okay.
Yeah. So the age that we're targeting is 30 to 40.
Okay.
And the sex, male and female, it wasn't, if it had been something big, like, I think the sex breakdown was really close. It was like, what's interesting is the race breakdown is interesting. But I'm trying to get to, we saw somewhere, I want to say it was like males were the dominant. Yeah, here it is.
Yeah.
Males were 55%, but females weren't that far behind with 44%. For me, if it was something like if males were 75% and females were only 25%, then I would kind of gear more towards design that caters towards the male, but it's kind of close. So you kind of want to be neutral in terms of that. So I felt like we really shouldn't lean toward, because 44% of the market is a lot to lose. You know what I mean? And then 55% is obviously a lot to lose. So with numbers that high on both the male and female, I think we should keep the design agnostic in terms of male or female. It's too big of a market share either way. Interest. So when we researched content creator interest, did anyone come up with anything? Angela?
No, because I didn't, no.
No one did? Okay, so that's something you gotta have by next week, but buying behavior, did you get a chance to research any buying? Now I'm gonna give you guys some clues, and buying behavior, I would focus on, because this is kind of helpful because we're running with this scenario as if we're working for Apple. So it will be cool. So we know, so this will help you narrow it down for your homework. We know that we're targeting ages 30 to 40. That's going to help you narrow down. And we know that we're targeting Apple users. So a good Google search will be something like the average, the most popular phone amongst the most popular iPhone bought amongst users age 30 to 40. You see what I'm saying? Or the most popular creative apps used for content creators age 30 to 40. You see what I'm saying? That'll help you kind of narrow that down. Internet online hangouts, because we already know that we're targeting people aged 30 to 40. Did anyone have an answer for where they typically hang out? These content creators?
No. Didn't do that
So
either.
what would you Google search? You guys tell me. If I'm trying to figure out where my target is hanging out in terms of content creator, what are you searching on Google?
Do we go to wait, what happened with the buying behavior? I had some information on that one.
Oh, you didn't say anything. What's the buying behavior?
Oh, it said, well, when I looked up, it said, according to Forbes, 81% of consumers' buying decisions are influenced by their friends' posts on social media.
Oh, okay. That's a very strong note. That's a strong note. That's a very strong note. So make sure you bullet that and include that. Internet online hangout behavior. Are people 30 to 40, are they on Facebook or are they on Instagram?
Facebook.
Somebody,
No, I'm
exactly.
30, I'm 30
Very
to 40.
important to
I'm on
know.
Instagram.
I'm on both.
But
So
okay, so
I'm mainly
here's,
on Instagram.
but see, here's the thing. So you guys have to Google social media platforms most popular for ages 30 to 40. Because remember, it's not, you gotta Google it and you gotta confirm your assumptions. So that's your Google search for that. Social media hangout, most popular social media hangouts for people age 30 to 40.
The funny part is I said that not even acknowledging I'm close to 40.
Right. Girl, ain't
Like
that
that's where the
crazy?
old people be.
Yes.
Wow.
Gotta research it and then post your findings and then post your reference where you got that information from your references.
Yeah.
And then in terms of, go ahead.
I was gonna say also, I had something for buying behavior too. Sorry to backtrack,
Okay.
but I had that their buying behavior is based on things that they will use to grow their business.
Okay. And then that's good. And what are those things? Is it cameras? Is it lenses?
Cameras and
Marketing?
tripods, ring lights, things like that.
So that's important. So when you answer the questions, you have to be specific because what happens is your information is information the marketing team uses. So when the marketing team is trying to figure out where to put digital ads, right? So if you just tell me their buying behavior is they buy stuff to make their business more successful, I don't know if you're talking about courses, if you're talking about sleeping apps, if you're talking about Tony Robbins, if you're talking about business books. You see what
All
I'm
of that.
saying?
And subscriptions too, said.
But to be specific, right? So you want to narrow down. A narrow approach is way better than a wide approach.
Okay.
So if we know that we're targeting Apple users who are using iPhones and iPads and they're content creators, we're really niching into that behavior. You see what I'm saying? So like if as soon as you say content creator, I'm not, it wouldn't, what if you say the word content creator, are your marketing campaigns going to be more effective if you target people looking for cameras, or is it going to be more effective if you're looking for people who are in general looking for Tony Robbins seminars? If we're targeting content creators, where are you going to put your ad in front of people shopping for cameras, or are you going to put your ad in front of people shopping for Tony Robbins? They both are business, but who are you going to put your ad in front of?
Cameras.
Cameras. So I'm saying, yeah, be very specific in who you're targeting, because when it's too broad, it doesn't hit anybody. And you just, when you have concentrated marketing dollars, it just goes a lot further. So yeah. So when you're narrowing that down, so Angela's response, which was people are highly influenced by social media, that's good, but that's still too broad, because if you tell me social media, is that Snapchat? Is that Twitter? Is that YouTube? Is that Instagram? And which one is it? Is that TikTok? But the only way I know that is now I got to dig deeper. And I say, what's the age? The age is 30 to 40. So our 30 to 40-year-olds on TikTok, Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook, where are they? You see what I'm saying? So that's why it's so important to keep like a laser focus on all of your answers have to be pulled in to who your target is. What was I trying to say? Oh, okay. What was the next thing? So we got their interest in buying behavior. How do we identify the internet? Did anyone Google that? Ages 30 to 40, where are they at the most? Instagram, Snapchat, Facebook. Tell me. Google it real quick. And whoever gets it first, just shout it out. So Google, most popular social media platform for people aged 30 to 40.
Say LinkedIn.
That makes sense. See, not what we thought.
Mm-mm.
So that's the answer. So type in there LinkedIn. What's the number 2 answer?
Well, from like 30 to 39 would be Instagram.
Okay. And then what's that 39 to 40?
Hold on, let me make sure I did that right. Snapchat, TikTok, Instagram is 30 to 39, LinkedIn.
Facebook 50 to 59.
It's kind of the same for the age 30 to 39 with LinkedIn and it was LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram.
Okay. So that site that you're looking at, copy that and then post that link in the chat. Because that's another one of y'all reference. Another thing about UX design, everything is a team, right? So this is a team project. This part of it is at least that we're working through. Because I just want you guys to understand how it works I want this to be an identical experience as much as possible as what it's going to be like when you get hired. And this is how you guys are going to work together when you get hired.
Okay. And this one goes under the hangout behavior, right?
Internet online hangout behavior, yes. But then place the link that gave you that data under references, whoever found that link.
Okay.
Where do these content creators live? Or is it kind of like, evenly distributed or dispersed?
I couldn't find anything by state, but for it said Brazil was number 1 with 106 million content creators, and USA was number 2 with 86 million content creators. I couldn't find a breakdown by state in the US.
That's amazing. I would have never guessed that.
Right?
That's interesting. So like we're targeting Brazil, but see, that matters with accessibility, right? Because when you build a website and you choose the languages that the site can translate into, and it's about content creation, and you don't have a translation for whatever language they speak in Brazil, that's a problem. So so put under geographics, put down Brazil number 1, US number 2, and then put your reference. That's why you don't go by assumptions, because everything I assumed was wrong, by the way. I was like, wow, really? All right. Let's sorry. Let me go back. I want to. So now that so you guys are going to go back and you're going to really build this out. Like this is just real surface, right? But going through it, you get where we're going. So when you go back in and you really break this down, it's going to be, you need to expound upon what we did together. That's one of the things that you're going to do over the week. But moving forward, so that's part 1 of it. So we gathered the data, we started developing a persona. We have a pretty solid persona of who we're targeting. After persona, who remembers what the next phase is? After you develop a persona, who remembers? I just showed it. Going once, going twice. People already know the answer.
Coming up with solutions or a storyboard in one? Okay.
That's close. It's ideation.
Okay.
So I'm gonna stop sharing. I want to show you guys something else. Okay, so let me show you what a wireframe looks like. move this up here. And let me share my screen again. Can you see my screen to the people in the back?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so this is what a white, so you see how it kind of looks like a blueprint? You see how it's just like, like boxes and black and white. It's kind of just a sketch of the general layout of the app on the phone, a tablet, a laptop. You guys see that?
Yeah.
Mhm.
So this is the ideation technique that's called wireframing. But you can also do this in terms of sketching. You can also do this in terms of whiteboarding. So what that does is the ideation phase. Who can define the ideation phase for me? Janella, do you remember what's the ideation? The ideation phase does what? What are we doing in the ideation phase? We're taking the blank and we are using the blank to blank.
We're taking the idea and we're using the idea to
No. No. We're taking, so what have we been doing so far? So when we came back, no, what have we been doing? Like all of this, the research and stuff, what have we been gathering about our users?
Oh, demographics.
What's another word for
Information.
it?
Oh,
No, go ahead, Tori.
I don't know what I said. Information.
Yeah, the information. That's right. I mean, that's right. Sometimes I think you guys overthink it. So you're taking the data. So ideation is now that we've gone, so we have identified the purpose of the app. We have identified what we want people to do. We have identified that let's look at what we identified. We have identified that we want people to engage with the content as a family of content creators. We have established that. We've established that we want to increase awareness of other products and services. We've established that we want to increase word of mouth. We've established that we want people to come there and collaborate and network with others, like on projects. And we established that we want this community, this online community, to be a place where people can come and they can share ideas and tips. We've identified that. We know clearly that we are targeting people aged 30 to 40. We know that they hang out mostly on LinkedIn. We know that the bulk of them are coming from Brazil, the US second. We know that, and we know that they're hanging out on LinkedIn and Instagram. So based on everything we know, now we take all of this information and let's start coming up with some ideas of how we can create this environment. Let's start coming up with some ideas of how this environment should be laid out. Does that make sense? Like, let's come up with some ideas of when you were telling me, oh, I see a metaverse, or I see the environment looking this, you know what I mean? I see it laid out. I see them coming, whatever that online space is, let's start coming up with some sketches, some ideas in terms of what that looks like, which brings us back to here. So for this segment, we're moving into ideation, and we're going to talk about everyone's ideas because that's really what you would do. So everyone is going to whiteboard. Now, I gave everyone access to Zoom's whiteboard, and you guys are going to sketch out what this environment looks like in your head. So you're going to create a sketch of, you don't have to write words. If you notice, whiteboards are just lorem ipsum. You just literally do scribbly lines. You're not writing out, hey, Janella, hey, Tori, Andrew. You're not doing that. You're just the overall flow of how you think it should be set up. If you could put sections, so maybe you could say like here, you can say maybe this is the sign up for a newsletter section, and maybe you sketch out something here, and this is like the conversation that's the most popular. You see what I'm saying? Or maybe right here is, you see these 3 gray circles? Maybe in your mind, those are the latest Apple products that the community recommend the most. And maybe down here is the group collaboration project. Whatever your brain comes up with. How do you, when someone logs in your brain, what do you envision that experience being for them? What's the first thing they see? So just represent that just like this. It's real simple. You don't have to be an artist. It don't have to be pretty. I just want to see the overall layout of what you envision. So for this phase of it, we are moving into ideation. So you guys are going to create a new whiteboard. Does everyone know how to create a new whiteboard inside of Zoom? If you click on whiteboard, it'll say new whiteboard. You guys see that?
Yeah.
So everyone create a new whiteboard. Are you guys all in the same board? I see everybody's mouse.
I guess so.
Can you see, can Angela, can you see Tori's mouse? Janella, can you see?
Yes.
Yes.
So you all can see everyone's mouse too?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. Hold on one second. Let me do this. Huh?
Oh, that's it.
Oops. Oh my God. Did I just kick y'all out?
No.
Okay, I didn't mean to do that. You still there? Okay, good.
How do
I'm
we
scared.
actually do something? I don't.
Can you guys draw? Do you see like the tools on the side, the pen and the square and the shapes?
I don't see
I don't see that stuff.
it either.
You should be able to see. Are you on full size laptops?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Let me see something. Let me look at their permissions.
Hold on, full size.
What happens when you just click your mouse and you drag across? You don't draw anything?
It
Mm.
moves,
No,
but it's just
it
white.
just move it. It seemed like it was moving the actual
me see.
whiteboard.
Okay, hold on, let me see. Board, move board to project. And then I do this. Start this board, lock this board. It's not locked. Let me see something. Preferences, grids, view. You guys don't go to your window in Zoom. Do you see the menu bar? Do you see window? I don't know why you can't see your toolbar. Let me share my
Where is
screen
it
and
at
see
the
if you
top?
guys. Can you guys see my Zoom window?
No. I can only see the
No?
whiteboard. Hold
What
on.
do you see?
I only see the
Um,
whiteboard.
the
I think you
whiteboard
guys
and
are looking at me, but I don't think you're looking at your own Zoom.
Okay, I closed the whiteboard and now I still don't see your screen.
Okay, let me try to show you the whiteboard again. Okay, without me having the whiteboard up. Okay, who just opened up the whiteboard? All of you guys?
Yeah, I think
I just clicked on it.
me too.
And you don't see where you can draw and stuff?
No.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I can see where I can change it from 100% to fit the screen, magnify, mini maps. That's it.
All right, I'm gonna have Tori, who's on a full, I'm gonna have Tori share your screen.
Okay.
And I'm gonna stop sharing and I want you to share. Hold on, give me a second to stop sharing. I don't even see where, I don't even see where I can stop sharing. Or am I sharing? I don't know what's happening. Okay, let me share this one. But that's not what I'm trying to share. Interesting. Let me pause recording. Um, Can you guys see my screen still or no?
Well, I see you.
Yeah, I only
Okay.
see.
Okay. All right. Well, that's good. So, oh, hold on. Maybe do I have to do this? Oh, go back. Go back to whoever had that open. Everybody open up the whiteboard. Okay, now I'm gonna do this and see if this helps.
It says if we open another whiteboard, you have to close the current whiteboard. Do you want to continue?
Okay, wait, hold on. So you already have one open.
The one that somebody just opened on my screen. I didn't even touch
Yeah,
it.
like when somebody clicks it, it opens up on everybody's screen.
Mhm.
So like I can draw, look. You guys see me drawing circles,
Yes.
Yeah.
but you guys don't have the pen. I see Tori over there. It look like you right
You
on
see
top
me
of
drawing?
the.
It's not
Did you
drawing.
click
There's
on the
nothing
pencil?
over there. It's just a
Mm.
bunch of dots, like, grids.
I'm trying to draw with my finger.
Okay, hold on. Let me share this. Oh, I don't understand why. Okay, this is what I want you to do. If you open up your whiteboard, why can't you open up
It
your
says
whiteboard?
it says we're viewing Angela's whiteboard.
Angela, can you draw?
This can you see?
You just
No.
okay, that's Janella's whiteboard.
Let's say Control B. Do what?
Hmm. Okay, do this instead. Everybody close their whiteboard. I'm gonna deal with one person at a time so you can figure it out. Okay, now let me choose. Angela, share your screen, not your whiteboard. Just share your screen. Now go to Zoom. And I click on that right there where it says like screen sharing, meeting controls and all that. Click on that one.
Click on this.
I mean like that window, like open that window up, just the whole window. So we should be seeing like your Zoom.
Um,
You don't, okay, so you can stop sharing.
oh, here you go. I can stop. It said that you can't open up a whiteboard if you're sharing the screen.
You can't open up a whiteboard if you're sharing the screen. You can't open up a whiteboard if you're sharing the screen. Okay, just open the whiteboard anyway.
I can't even get there.
I'm looking at your mouse hover over those two things. Just click on that. Just click right there.
Right here?
Yeah, just click on it. You can't click on your window so that we can see your Zoom, like see inside of your Zoom environment.
No, this is what it looks like. Do you see this right here moving?
Mm-mm.
You don't see this bar moving?
No.
Okay, stop sharing. Stop sharing. How is this gonna work? Let me see something for a minute. I don't understand why you guys can't see when you click on your whiteboard. Why can't you see what? Did you click on existing whiteboard or new whiteboard?
New whiteboard.
No.
I tried it both ways.
It's like it'll open up and the bar flash on the left, then it'll disappear. The toolbar flash and it'll disappear.
Oh, I don't get it at all.
Me neither.
You don't
They
see
say
anything with arrows or dots. Like there's nothing. There has to be something on your screen, like a some type of menu or three.
where would it be at? To the right, left? Where do you see it at?
No.
There is something that say like got 3 lines, but that's the SCI creative front end development. It's
Right.
like, and then it has, but then when you click it, it say preferences, view, find, export, open in browser, help, leave feedback, and about. That's the only thing similar to a menu.
Maybe I can share. It's still not working.
I want to see if I can share. Let me see. Share.
Can you see
Screen.
it now?
I don't even know how to get out of here now.
I'm just talking and you guys can't even hear me.
Oh,
It kicked me out and then I got back in.
Oh,
Okay. So can you tell me, I just, what do you see? You gotta see something. Like you don't see lines or,
Yeah, it's some lines where it says SCI creative
and you
front
see
end
three
development.
lines? You see three
Yeah, but
lines?
uh-huh.
So that's a
But it's
menu.
yeah, but when you click it, it's only preferences. Next to that is grids, view, so it's comments, collaborative cursors, votes, object dimensions, find, export. It doesn't have like a bar of any sort.
What happens when you say move board to project?
Where's that?
Move this whiteboard to a project that you are authorized to contribute to. Oh, this is probably what it is. Hold on. Probably be creating let me create a new project. Hold on. Board references, fine. Open a browser. I wonder what will happen if we open it in a browser. So we all share from there. Show more tools. Page. I'm trying to see how to all eyes on me. Show more tools. I just can't believe that you guys can't talk. Presentation, timer, save, more, board. How could you? Oh, brother. Hold on, I'm trying to figure out. What happens if we do it? Maybe. Okay, I'm trying to figure this out. Let me see. It's not locked. I don't know. Collaborating. Okay, maybe this is the deal. Okay, I'm gonna open this board. Okay, can you guys see this board?
yeah.
It said,
yes.
don't try to open the board. Just see if you can draw in here.
No.
You guys, so you don't see a menu or anything.
No.
No.
Can y'all
Did you
see
see?
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see your
Oh,
mouse. Y'all see the circle I just drew, right?
Yes.
yeah.
Oh, I moved your circle. Am I moving your circle?
Where? Let me see.
I think I'm moving.
No, it's the page that's moving.
Oh, I moved the page.
Oh my God, this is frustrating. I don't know why
What
can't you
did
guys?
does anybody see my mouse?
Yes.
Yeah, you probably can't see it
No,
yourself.
I can move the circle, y'all.
So you can't draw? I just feel like you guys don't see the menu.
No,
I
we
know
don't.
that,
Yeah. But
like,
there is a pop-up. Oh, it just went away. It says something about the owner of the whiteboard, but somebody might have just exited out of it. There was a pop-up over to the right that said something, but I don't know where it just went.
so like, what happens when you hold your mouse down and try to draw? Like, you just
Nothing.
hold your mouse down and drag it.
The page
Nothing.
moves. I can move everything you doing around and around, but it's like the whole grid is moving, not just the circle.
Okay, so let's do it like this then. This is not gonna work. So everybody has Word open, right?
No.
Or some type of version of Word.
Okay. Let me try to.
I'm using my notes, OneNote.
mm,
So this is what, tell me, everybody put their email address in the chat. A Gmail, make sure it's a Gmail address. If you got a Gmail address, put a Gmail address. Did everybody put their Gmail account in there? Yes, no?
I think I might have sent it to Angela. Hold on, let me meeting. Now I think
Okay,
all right.
okay. I think I see. I'm sending you guys the thing. Oh, shoot. Hold on a second, I'm sorry. Okay. So I just sent all of you guys an invitation to share this Google document. So open up, so the email you sent me, accept my invitation for this shared document. And let me know when you see it. I created a page for each one of you guys. So it's the page that we were working on in class, right? But after that, it says Latoriana. Then there's a page after that that says Janella. And then there's a page after that that says Angela. It's a shared document, and I just shared it with you.
I don't see it. It came in my email.
Well, you gotta go to your email and you will see it'll say, that I shared this document with you. Let me do it this way. This will be easier. Here, click on this link in the chat. I just put it in the chat. Everybody click on that link.
Okay.
Is everybody there?
Yeah.
Okay, so inside of your page, do you see your name and your page? Tori, you see yours? Janelle, you see yours, Janella?
I'm trying to get there. Hold on.
Yes.
Okay. So on your page, come up with a sketch. So like use the drawing tools and just come up with a layout, and then we'll go over everybody's layout. So the same way, it doesn't have to be anything fancy. Like I said, it's not like we're not trying to make it pretty. This is just a wireframe. You can draw in here.
It's taking me to Microsoft Edge and my signed into Chrome.
And this is gonna be for, I wish I could see the thing
Let me
again.
share this. Let me share it. Okay, can you see the page? You see the Google Doc and you see Tori's thing?
Mhm.
Okay, so what I'm saying is like you guys are just gonna come here and there's like tools up here. Let me see, paint format. What can you do? You can do like shapes and stuff. Their formatting, blah, 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 editing mode. Let me see what they got. Insert drawing, like a new drawing. And you see inside of here, you can draw. So let me see. Image, shapes, you can do like squares. And you can draw squares. And you can draw squares and squares. Let's just say like you want and you want this one to be white or maybe purple. Well, do everything black and white. So make it like because this is just make it like a lighter gray. Make everything black and white. And let's just say in your mind, like let's just say like this is the page, and then in your mind when they get there, this is how the site looks to you. So it's like, oh, I think this should be the name. Yeah, so like this should be the name. And I feel like you should see their profile right here. This is their profile picture, and then I think that should be, you see what I'm saying? And I felt like maybe this section would be, I don't know, where they collaborate, like it lists the next upcoming meetings, whatever you think. So text, and then you may say upcoming Apple Head collab. You see what I mean? Like sketch out how you think that experience should be. Right, and then we'll come back and talk about it. It's not about it being pretty, because wireframes are just black, make everything black and white and gray. Everything is black, white, and gray. You just want to have like a general concept of how you think the page should be laid out.
And this is for our the comment.
This is for everything that we've been talking about with that Apple Head community. So the Apple, so you're laying out the general layout. When they first come in here, we already said that this is a meeting place for them to come to collaborate, to get to know each other. They They can support each other's projects. We think that they should come here. They can, the purpose of it is to encourage new product sales by word of mouth. Right, all of the stuff we said, what does that experience look like? How does that translate? So if you go file, and where did I go, y'all? I did insert. If you go to insert and you say insert a drawing, so go to insert, drawing, new, and just create your drawing. And just look, it only has to look like this, right? However, whatever you get what I'm saying? It's just boxes. It's just gray, black, and white of how you think this page should be laid out. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So take 30.
Wish I could find insert. I don't even see it on my screen.
I'm gonna go back. Hold on, let me go back to help. Let me go back to where I was. Tori, let me see. So you don't see the menu up here where it's like file, edit, view.
I'm gonna click on the link again. No. Well, it says this file is currently in spam. Remove forever or not. So I'm gonna put not spam. And yeah, it doesn't have any of that. On mine, it's only the search bar, then there's a search, like a magnifying glass, is a back and forward, a print, the grammar, or like it looks like a paint roller, it looks like 100%, normal text, the fonts. Huh?
It should be above. Can you share your screen? Share your screen. Angela, do you see the menu?
Yeah, I'm in it.
Janella, do you see the menu?
Yes, I do.
Okay, share your screen to her. Yes, so you can figure it out. Oh, let me stop sharing so you can share. I'm sorry. Like, go ahead, share. Okay, let me see what you got going now. On the side, Tori, in the gray area, scroll all the way to the top. That's as far up as you can go. Okay, hold on, let me see. Let me scroll. You see next to where you have a down arrow next to the pencil?
Right here?
Over a little bit more. There you go. You see your menu was hidden. Now you see file, edit, view, insert.
Yes. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. All right. So yeah, take 30 minutes and come up with your sketch, and then we're gonna be sure to save it. Make sure you save it so you don't lose everything. But I'm gonna give you 30 minutes, come up with it, and then we're gonna have a design meeting and talk about your ideas, and you talk about what you came up with and why, based on the persona, the goal of the app, what the app is supposed to do, what the experience is supposed to be like. And we're gonna take a look. And I'll be back in 30, what is that, 4:15? I'll be back at 4:15 to look at what you guys came up with. Does anybody have any questions?
No.
Okay.
Can you stop making all that noise?